Hello and welcome to the Rogscast. It's episode 4. I know we've been around for 4 weeks already. You wouldn't have thought it, but here we go. I'm back again with Kean. He's finally back.
Hello.
And Felix, the rock, the ever-present. How you doing,
Hello.
Felix? Good?
All right. Yeah.
Okay, good to hear. Starting off, we'll be discussing the groups. Maybe our thoughts before. Did they live up to our expectations? Group A for me didn't. Wales surprised me. And we'll start off with the Wales game. Italy-Wales 1-0. I would like to give my 2 pence on this first. I thought Marco Verratti, back from injury, he just adds an extra element to this Italy side. He was phenomenal. His passing, he got the assist for the goal. He was incredible. He ran that game. The game was slightly ruined in the second half by the Ethan Ampadu red card. What do you guys make of that one?
It's quite harsh.
I agree. I thought it was studs up on his ankle, but it just felt a little bit like, come on, ref. It wasn't. There wasn't.
His second youngest player ever to get sent off at the Euros.
Yeah, I mean he'll be out for their their next round of 16. Kian,
I just think modern football, isn't it? It's just like there's no lenience. Do you know what I mean? You don't get any Graham Souness or Roy Keanes anymore, unless you want to get a red card.
Ron Chopper Harris.
I felt like Italy put a good shift in, considering there was no pressure on them. They still controlled the game well. Wales did. Do you know what I mean? They did pressure them a bit.
Yeah.
They impressed me.
Yeah, cool. Okay. And then the other game,
luckily Joe Rodon put in enough of a shift to cover for Ampadu getting sent off.
Yeah, keep that goal difference down.
It was very solid.
He was very good. I don't like to give my props to scum players, but sometimes you got to respect Joe Rodon, and he played well. Anyway, Switzerland versus Turkey, great game of football. Felix, you put Shaqiri in your fantasy team. You can talk about this one. What did you make of the game?
Captained him as well. It's just great goals after great goal, wasn't it?
It really was.
I mean,
it was a bit of a beautiful Swiss performance. Shaqiri had a great game, 2 goals. I thought the goal of the game actually came from the Turkish player. I don't want to get who was it? It was Kankaveki, or however you pronounce his name. That's probably incorrect. There's no Turkish people listening anyway. And if Tom Garrett's listening, get out of here. Anyway,
brother.
Kian, man, that's not. Anyway, Switzerland, good result for them. Group A was kind of wrapped up already. Switzerland got the win that they needed, so Wales will push down into third.
3 assists for Zuba.
Yeah, Zuba.
Assist in the tournament.
Yeah, but he's not in that group.
Zuba, he plays for Switzerland.
Zuba, sorry. I thought when you said that earlier, I thought you meant Zuba, the Russian guy. I was so confused. Anyway, whatever. That's my bad. Okay, so anyway, that group, my pre-tournament expectations, I had Italy winning. But I think everyone had Turkey doing well. And in the end, they finished with 0 points. It was a bit pathetic from the Turkish players. What went wrong?
No chemistry. And just a lack of experience.
Yeah.
And then obviously, I guess the pressure of being built up that much by not just your own media and your own fans, but basically everyone in Europe.
Yeah,
I think they were set up to fail because expectations had them at quarters or even semis.
Yeah.
So, which they were never going to get to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a poor shot. I think it's like the fifth worst performance by a team at the Euros ever.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, they did fine, but it's exaggerated because of the expectation. They were poor, but
yeah,
I think they were overestimated by everyone.
I predicted them second in the group, and they obviously finished bottom.
I put them second. I think everyone underestimated Wales.
Yeah, for sure.
And the thing,
I remember someone saying 0 points for Wales, but I can't remember who it was. I'm not sure. I heard someone said they'd get smacked every game, but
yeah, honestly,
I might just be imagining things.
Nah, that was obviously me. I'm impressed.
The thing which I find most weird is apart from the Turkey game, I guess it wasn't even a Gareth Bale show.
No, I thought
I'd even suggest it was more the Dan James show.
Dan James has been impressive. He doesn't have that final pass, that final ball, whatever, but he's been good. Wales, we'll get on to who they're facing a bit later, but yeah, Wales have been good. That group was a surprise, and we'll move on to Group B. these games were a little bit more spicy. There was a little bit on the line, and we'll start off Belgium-Finland. I mean, as a Romelu Lukaku owner in fantasy, this game was a bit of a ride. So starting off, Belgium took the lead not late on, but second half. Lukaku put them up. Goal got disallowed. Then there was a Radetzky own goal. Lukaku finished it with that. It was a nice finish to give them the win 2-0. It was a good game of football. I thought Finland were a bit unlucky this tournament. Obviously, I felt a little bit bad for them, but at the end of the day, they didn't get their results. Belgium beat them. What did you guys make of this game?
I'm gonna be honest. I watched it, but I can't remember it a lot. I mean, I know Lukaku had that goal disallowed for offside, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which
very tight.
Was very close, but yeah, it took him a while to break them down.
Yeah.
And it was one of those just really unlucky own goals. I think it's quite similar to the one Chesney had the other week.
Yeah.
Where you just can't really do a lot about it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Kian, did you catch that one or not?
Well, I didn't catch it, but
that's fine.
It's a similar thing of similar to Italy. They didn't even need to win the game, but they still went out to win. It's kind of sending a message to the rest of the tournament. I think that they're not here for a laugh. Yeah. They're here to win.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think Belgium looked good all group stage. The other game in that group was Denmark versus Russia. Denmark, honestly, I wasn't sure they'd get the result. I said last week with just Felix that I thought Russia were going to pull off the win, beat Denmark. But credit to Denmark, they came out and they blitzed the Russians. I mean, it was quite a calamitous game of football. Obviously, Christensen's goal was great. Damsgaard's goal was great. But the goal that really changed the game was the second Danish goal, and what a horror show it was from the Russian. The pass back to the keeper, easily intercepted and tucked away. It was disappointing to see for the Russians. They'll be disappointed, I reckon, with how the tournament went in the end. But yeah, what did you guys make of this one? Did you catch it?
The Christensen goal? It's a great strike, as a goal in itself, and obviously what it meant, because it basically sealed them going into the last 16. I've seen people say it's been saved. I don't know.
But power on that strike was outrageous.
But yeah, it's nice to see them getting through. I reckon they're probably most neutrals' favourite.
Yeah, but so Russia will, unfortunately, I believe, Finland, were one of those unfortunate third place sides that didn't make it through. It'll be disappointing.
Slovakia was the other one?
Yes, Slovakia was the other one.
Yeah. Slovakia.
So I mean, they really didn't deserve that. But yeah, so that group ended Belgium, Denmark, Finland, Russia. Quite similar to how I'm pretty sure most would have predicted it. Maybe Russia and Finland being the other way around. But credit to Denmark, because with what happened with Christian Eriksen, they pushed on, they got the result, and they've done their country proud. And I'm sure everyone was low key a little bit satisfied to see them go through their group. Yes.
What I will say
about Loke.
What I will say is, across Group B and C, I had all the right winners down. So this is a little message to Nick, because I know he's watching. Thanks for screwing me over £111, buddy.
Get all of them.
And get well soon. I had Belgium to win, Denmark to win, Netherlands to win, and Ukraine to win.
Okay, well,
and it would have got me £111 return.
Moving on.
Ukraine.
Yeah, Ukraine didn't win.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. Austria won.
Draw, maybe. I know that
Austria won. So you must have had Austria winning. So anyway,
and you know what I mean. I had them down to win, and I checked, and it was right.
Moving on to those games in that group, and contrary to Kian's belief, Austria-Ukraine was won by the Austrians, as I predicted correctly. Felix, what went wrong with your Ukrainian boys?
Game, I don't understand why they take their best player off at halftime.
What, Manilovsky?
Yeah, I don't understand it at all, because towards the end of the first half they had started to threaten a bit more, and I don't know why he'd take it, because he has been their best. I know you can make a case for Yaremchuk and Yarmolenko because they've got the goals, but Malinovsky's been the he's been keeping them ticking over this whole
Absolutely.
tournament. So, I mean, I'm not a manager. I'm sure Shevchenko had his reasons, but from an outsider's perspective, it didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, well, I predicted Austria would get through that, and they did. Baumgartel.
Wait, who did you predict to win that match?
Austria.
It's just, I hadn't mentioned it. It's just.
Well, I like Austria. I like what they do. Next game, Netherlands, North Macedonia. It was a bit of a disaster show from the North Macedonians to end their tournament. They probably won't reach a tournament for quite a while. What did you guys?
They went ahead.
Yeah, it's disallowed.
Was it that goal? I feel like that was really close.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but outclassed in the end. I know they've got maximum points out their group, but I don't necessarily rate Netherlands' chances that highly because I think their defense really hasn't been tested. And when it has against Ukraine, I mean they conceded 2 in 5 minutes. So I'm not gonna give them a proper chance until we see what they're made of against proper quality opposition.
9 points is a bit of a false
not be
image.
for a bit because they're on the easy side of the draw, as I'm sure we'll touch on.
Yes, I am sure we'll touch on that.
What was that?
Yeah. Anyway, quickly on to Group D. Because I'm pretty sure that group went how most would have predicted. England, Czech Republic. What can I say about it apart from
underwhelming?
Underwhelming, yeah. But
quite.
I have to say I was impressed.
Almost a beautiful assist from Harry Maguire.
Yes, I was impressed by a couple of players. Maguire was great coming back into the side. I'm not going to yep. I also thought
I wouldn't say because I've just come to expect that type of thing from him. He improves England and United so much.
He's a solid defender. Solid defender. Yeah, but I think he gets hated on a bit very much because of his appearance and do you know what I mean? I think this whole slabhead thing probably brought him down a bit.
Who knows why the man exudes sex appeal.
Yeah.
But yeah, easily first centre back. None of this. Oh, I remember when Joe Gomez was still in that conversation. Those are funny times.
Yeah.
Jack Grealish.
We know you're itching to do it. Do you want to go ahead and
let's save it for last? Save it for last.
Talk about
Jackie Boy Grealish first.
Jackie Grealish was incredible. Some would argue unlucky to not be man of the match. For me, I thought that the man who got it was better, but and that man was
too hot.
My beautiful man, such a lovely little guy, Bukayo Saka. I mean, honestly, I'm loving watching. Hey, Kian. So honestly, I'm loving Bukayo Saka. I obviously love him anyway because come on Arsenal, but he seems to be everyone seems to like him in the squad, which I don't know why you're laughing at that. It's a good thing. I think that
you got insider knowledge.
Well, no, it's just obvious that they like him.
Yeah, it's true. I think the squads have good harmony at the minute. I think they all do like each other. It's not like 2002.
I think that's the only thing Southgate's got going for him.
That's the only thing good squad harmony.
That there's a good atmosphere within the squad.
Saving him a bit.
Obviously, he has helped that to come about, but if I speak.
Yeah. If you speak, you're in big trouble, boy. Okay, other game in that group. I'm just sorting something. Scotland versus Croatia. Key, and you start. You're Scottish.
Saying I'm Scottish, that was the most satisfying game I've ever. I didn't even watch it, but the scores coming through on the England game was just a relief. As I come from a heavily Scottish town, and supporting England, you get abused a bit. If like after the England-Scotland game, I had to go into hiding for a couple of days. Maybe part of the reason why I wasn't on the podcast, but watching them go 1-1, I was getting messages at 1-1. Oh, we're not going home yet. Blah 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 blah. Messages stopped at 2-1. Made my night.
Luka Modric masterclass.
Brilliant. Scotland's goal, good goal from Callum McGregor. Good strike. A bit sweeter that he gave the nation a bit of hope for them to crumble straight back down again.
Yeah.
That guy who tried to kick the bench and missed.
That was the best video I've ever seen in my life. Got to give it to Scotland. The fans, they don't care that they've lost because they think they're great, but they did expect to lose.
A historic result. A historic Wembley result, to be fair.
They're Group D's North Macedonians, so what can you say? They come home with a trophy. The we drew 0-0 to England trophy.
Respect Macedonia. They scored more goals.
I think they beat Scotland, can't lie. That's my opinion. We won't go into that though.
Oh.
Will?
Sorry, I've
to see Scotland?
just been saving the podcast because we had a timer ticking down on this call getting boosted, so I have to upgrade to Zoom Pro, but we're safe now. I can get back to doing a little bit of talking. Sorry if I was in a little bit of
that TikTok money.
Little bit of a panicked state just then, but fuck you, Scotland, you wee bastard. You're going home. You're going. Scotland's going home. Magnifico. Scotland finished bottom of the group, as I said they would. Their fans can shut
up. Did I send you the video of the pub I was in when Scotland conceded?
No.
The cheerio video. Amazing. Best feeling. And I put it all over Facebook. And all the Scottish people were biting. Shout out to you. Probably not watching.
Well, I feel like Modric was his? Did he score a Trivela? I don't actually remember.
Modric just a little swiftly just edging it around the corner. It was quite a magnificent sight, sending those Scots into floods of tears. Yeah.
The big question is, do we forgive Ivan Perisic yet?
No, never.
I hate Croatia, and I always will hate Croatia.
But the hatred for Scotland.
It's up there. I have to live with the hatred of Scotland as a football team every day.
Now
Croatia
it's gone. Now I ain't saying I'm a xenophobe, but Scotland.
Stop.
Nah, seriously though.
Cancel Will.
The banter between us and Scotland is unparalleled because there is no banter. They're just a bunch of angry, pissed off people, and we have a much better football team. Anyway, moving on. Group E.
People.
Okay, I was being polite. Sweden versus Poland. Whew, cracking game. That was today, in fact. We're already on to today.
Yes.
I mean, Robert Lewandowski.
What more can he do?
What more can he do? People are saying that apart from literally head the ball into an open goal. But apart from that, Robert Lewandowski had a great game. His first goal was magnificent. His second goal was nice. But I mean, Emil Forsberg and then Claesson at the end of the game. Well done, Sweden. They won that group.
I didn't even realize, because I wasn't watching at the time. That first goal from Lewandowski was incredible. That was a great little finish. That was similar to Harry Kane against Arsenal a few years ago, just a bit closer in. It was a great finish. Called it. Did you see that goal?
What, Lewandowski's?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
The first one.
Yeah, I mentioned it. It was a beautiful strike. Very, very Kane-esque, but thank you for bringing that one up.
Let's not start on Kane, please.
My mum has both of those two teams in her work sweepstakes. She's happier with Sweden's performance than Poland's, obviously. Spain, Slovakia. Well, Spain had clinicality issues before today.
What is going on?
Spain had clinicality issues. Slovakia sorted them for them by sticking a couple in their own net. So the ball got rolling with
Dubravka goal.
Whatever Dubravka decided. I mean, I don't know. The ball came down. I don't know if he saw his bet slip with Spain winning 5-0 on it, but he just decided to bash it into his own net.
Bit too much bit too much volleyball.
Yeah, a bit too much volleyball. I mean,
Morata's still to miss a pen.
He's on for those 10 missed chances that you said.
As much as I was exaggerating, he's well on track. He's got at least 5 or 6 so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's been poor, they'll say. Key in Spain, still pretty convincing. I wrote Laporte on the score sheet. Certain City fan would be happy about that. But
still, it's just emphatic, really, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They lacked that cutting edge for the first game, maybe the first 2 games, but if they keep...
But they have a lot of...
Sorry?
Okay. They had a lot of chances. Didn't even realise.
Yeah, Spain was still good, but Slovakia helped them out.
They controlled the game, but they just needed a game. That's a statement, that, to me.
They're
showing they can score.
Busquets coming back in.
Yeah. Well.
Definitely a factor.
How does Morata how does a player like Morata get scouted to be a professional footballer? He gets paid
I remember he
of
did the
money
same
to
at
do
Chelsea
that.
a few years ago. What was it like in 2018? He was the same for Chelsea.
I feel like he was all right for Madrid, like when he had his chances, though.
Well, sometimes he has good.
I mean, what was it? His breakout campaign, which was, I think, the first time around at Juventus when they got to the Champions League final. I think that got him on the radar, and then it's just.
Sometimes he does perform though. He goes through like patches of being unbelievably awful.
He's a bit notorious for his disallowed goals and sitters and stuff.
Yeah, just the Spanish Timo Werner, really. Talking about Timo Werner, we'll move on to the last group, Group F. We'll start with the Hungary-Germany game because, I mean, this group, the games tonight were absolutely incredible. But, I mean, you got to feel for Hungary. Twice they took the lead. Twice they got paid back by pretty scruffy Germany goals.
Felix feel for England. Could have easily been playing Hungary round of 16.
I mean, would have been France would have needed that
win. Quite the same. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't understand how, because I think because we were watching both games at once, and then Germany equalised, and I turn around and say, surely they win this now. They got the momentum. Turn back round, Hungary on goal, putting it in the back of the net straight from kickoff.
That was crazy.
I don't know. I think because it wasn't really just a smash and grab thing either. They had a decent number of chances.
Yeah. I think they'll still be proud of their performances at the Euros, considering no one expected them to get anything out of that group. They drew against the 2 previous World Cup winners. I mean, wow. Shame.
And the previous Euros winner.
No, they lost to Portugal.
Oh, I thought you meant drew into the group. Sorry.
No. They got draws against.
Fair enough, yeah.
And then, of course, the other 2 all in the group, Portugal versus France. Luckily for us, they're both on the other side of the draw now. Penalties.
After the refereeing performance that he put in the Champions League final, it's like the other end of the scale today. I think
the same
every single penalty decision, bar the handball, was wrong.
With the same ref?
Yeah.
I didn't realise that. He looked familiar.
The one off Lloris, I don't think that's a pen.
I think
because he gets the ball.
But he's gone straight up a fist in like a crowd. I know
I think there's this whole like
endangering the player. Is that because I feel like it did hit Pereira's head. I feel like Pereira did get his head twisted.
I feel like with those, I can't remember what decision it was previously, but I feel like there has been another decision this Euros where it's like it's the first time you see a pen given for. Oh, it was the pen in the Croatia-Czech Republic game. It's one of those in the box incidents where there's hands flying around, which you see quite often, but you don't really see given as.
Well, I think we have to remember that European games are refed slightly differently to English games because we always complain about our referees. That penalty, I'm fine with that being given. I think he has endangered Pereira. But I think the worst of the decisions which were actually given was the France penalty. I don't see how that can ever be given. Semedo's not fouled him. Mbappe's just run into him and fallen over. If we're giving those as penalties, then I mean I could go into the Premier League and win 5 penalties a game while you're sprinting into a centre back. It makes no logical sense. I don't know why you're laughing. I've got some clinicality on my twinkle toes. Sorry. Anyway, Anyway,
I mean,
what do you guys make of the second penalty?
It's not a pen, but I'm not surprised he's given it because he's got a big reputation as being a drama queen, and like you can see, he is. I think he grew up with Mike Dean posted on his walls because he's so dramatic about everything. I think he loves taking his time over decisions sometimes because he gets a little excited when all the players start following him around. He loves the attention.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. The third penalty. I mean, first of all, we talk about France's second goal. Paul Labille Pogba. I mean, what a ball! I made it.
Track to be. I think he could easily get player of the tournament at this rate.
Made a mini joke to Felix about how you can play good pass when a striker's offside, only for Benzema to then get called onside. I was joking anyway because it was still an incredible ball. But I mean, Kylian Pogba this tournament, wow.
He's impressed me. I
must be hard to admit.
No, I'm like, I don't have agendas.
Doing
like,
the Mbappe.
Fit the scene. Anyway, yeah, Pogba. To be honest with you, Pogba for France is a different player to Pogba for United. I think we all knew that coming into the tournament. He was one of the ones that were expected to perform, but I just couldn't see it leading in. But he's impressed me. I won't lie.
Well, another player.
I think easily the two best players on the pitch today were Pogba and Renato.
Oh, Renato Sanchez. I mean, we've been creaming over Renato Sanchez on this podcast. I'm not going to lie to you. He's been no. I know that you wanted him in the side. He had to get in there, and when he was in there, he was phenomenal. But I want to talk about Antoine Griezmann because I heard that he started something like 51 games in a row for France without injury, which is apparently the longest ever streak of someone playing consecutive games for their national team. That's just crazy. I mean, he seemed ever present, but I didn't expect it to be that much. So, I mean, credit to Griezmann for his. I mean, he's not been good this tournament, but he's his ever presence in that French side. Then Portugal got another penalty. I think it's a handball. I don't really think there was an issue with that one.
I mean, if you've got an issue with that, it's going to be more an issue with the handball law.
Yeah,
because
sure.
Because that is far from being one of the more dubious handball decisions you've seen under the current laws.
Yep.
And I mean, if you just think back to the beginning of the domestic season when
they were getting thrown
teams
around,
were getting like a penalty each every single week because they didn't have their arms literally glued to their sides. So it's really I don't have a problem with that being given.
Yeah, and with that second penalty, Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro, the greatest player of all time, in my opinion, became the joint leading international goal scorer. No doubt in my mind that record falls at some point, maybe even in the game against Belgium. But, I mean, to be honest with you, I just think yes, it's penalties, but the rest of his goals aren't penalties. And to credit the incredible goal scoring return he's given his nation. Portugal haven't always been the strongest. I know they've had generations where they've been all right, but I mean, what a player! This is the best Portugal team for one. He's still their talisman. He's still their star at 36 years of age. So
Ronaldo's had to bridge the gap nearly by himself between Portugal's two golden generations.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think he really broke out just as the first one was coming to an end with your like Figos and Rui Costa, I guess.
Deco.
And now he's in the twilight of his career, I guess you'd say, just as all these new youngsters are.
I think we've seen a Ronaldo change from someone that likes to take people on and dribble past them to adapt his game to be more of a target man.
Yeah.
Because
he's still got an element of that skill to him.
He can do it when he needs to, but he doesn't rely on it now. He knows his age. He knows he is digressing. He's 36 years old, but it's very slow. He's using his football brain now to say that he's going to become a target man and pick up his goals. And that I find that just as impressive as someone coming up and, do you know what I mean? Like bringing new things in. I find it really impressive.
I saw something on Twitter the other day. Apparently he got like a serious, I think it's uncurable knee condition, which
he has this right now.
He's had it for a good number of years since I think 2014.
Oh right.
And it got operated on, but I think that's also got a lot to do with why he's had to change his role because it's not just an age thing. He like can't be as dynamic as he used to be.
Yeah, but I think he still does a good job of it.
He's not gone downhill. I mean, yes, he has downhill, but you know what I mean. He's still
he's
at
still
the top of
firing all
at the top
cylinders.
of the game.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
just
top
imagine
scorer.
the Ronaldo we would have seen if that didn't happen though, because him at United, his dribbling, his movement, everything was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So imagine he
You
brought
watched
that.
the Ronaldo documentary on BBC iPlayer.
I've not yet, but I'm gonna. I just haven't got around to it yet.
I've watched it last week.
Yeah, I mean that's a good little Cristiano Ronaldo chat. The game ended with Bruno Fernandes. I'd argue conceding a penalty against France. I know it wasn't given.
That was for me the clearest penalty of all the incidents, and he's not given it. It's so weird.
It's comical.
I think Lauhoz, he just thought in his head, right, I reckon the only way I can get even more attention is if I say no to a blatant penalty.
Which he knew wouldn't change the result of the group either.
He's going to go home, wake up, see the headlines, and just pleasure himself for the next week.
Yeah,
see himself plastered all over the news.
What is going on with this podcast?
That is outrageous, Felix. I'm not going to lie to you. Anyway, now we'll move. Jesus Christ! What is that? Nah, don't even do it. Don't even do it. That's outrageous, Felix.
You're 19, mate.
Sorry if my parents are listening. I don't know what Felix is thinking about. Jesus.
He's gonna have a good laugh to himself about how much attention he's getting.
What, my dad?
I know what you're talking about. No,
I know you're talking about. I know you're talking about. Anyway, we'll move on, and we'll
bit weird,
bit weird, mate. And we'll do our predictions for the knockout games. And I believe the first game is Wales Denmark, or is it? Yes, it is. First game is Wales Denmark. I think Wales are going to win this. I'm not going to lie to you. I know Denmark were good against Russia, but I think Wales have got a bit. They're a tournament side. You saw them do it the last Euros. I think they're going to do it again in the Johan Cruyff Arena, and I'm going to say 2-1 to Wales. Gareth Bale brace, including a beautiful free kick. What do you guys make of this fixture?
I think this will go extra time.
Really?
I think we'll end normal time 1-1, and I think Denmark might just run out of steam given the physical and mental toll the past couple of weeks might have taken on them, and probably Wales will score. Probably go on then Dan James brace. See it, Dan James brace to take them through to the quarters.
Surely you've got Dan James in your fantasy team then?
No. Would never go near that.
Kian, Wales, Denmark, similar. Do you think Wales can make it through?
I've went the other way. I've went 0-0, but then 1-0 after extra time to Denmark.
Okay, interesting. The next game, Saturday.
I mean, we already know what your prediction for this is. Well,
Italy versus Austria. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Austria winning this game. It's going to be the greatest Austrian thing since.
You joking?
Since whatever, but no, I've been saying this whole tournament. Austria are going to win this. I think
tournament.
No, this game, Austria, Wembley Stadium. I'm gonna a bit of juju in there, and Austria are gonna win that fixture 2-1. A couple of goals from David Alaba. Nah, I don't know who's going to score, but yeah, Austria, I think, are going to beat Italy, shocking the whole world.
I think this is just I'm going to say a 2-0 Italy win.
Routine, Kian?
Maybe. Who's their penalty taker? Is it Insigne?
They'll score a Mobile.
And then, they'll score a pen, and then I think Barella will score as well.
Ciro Immobile. Kian, similar?
I'm going to go bold.
Oh,
I'm going for an emphatic.
I'm going to go
3-0.
bold.
An emphatic 3-0 win to Italy.
Okay.
With an Immobile brace and a Locatelli 30-yard screamer on the volley. I'm going for it. If this comes off, this will be all over the TikTok.
I'll tell you what.
The 38th minute.
Oh, now you've just made it hard. The prediction, of course. Netherlands versus Czech Republic is next.
You are 19, mate.
Sorry. Anyway, it's talking about Locatelli real quick before we move on. Apparently, he's going to Juventus. Boring. Anyway, Netherlands versus Czech Republic in the Pushkas. Yeah, that's it. In the Pushkas Arena. I can only see this going one way, and it's going to be. You heard it here first. 2-0 to the Czech Republic. Patrick Schick. The Czech Warriors are going to come out. Netherlands aren't going to know what hit them, and I'm predicting yet another upset. Don't worry, I'll be coming back to the favourites soon, but I think the Czech Republic are going to pull off a 2-0 win in the Puskas Arena against the Netherlands. Kian, I doubt you agree.
Scotland, mate. This isn't Scotland. Come on.
I mean, what happened when the Netherlands played Scotland? If I speak. Kian, prediction.
I've gone with 3-1 to the Netherlands. I think Patrick Schick will score. I don't know who's going to score for the Netherlands, but I just think 3-1. I just think the Netherlands always love to concede a goal, but they love to score. So, yeah, that's what I'm going off of.
I think, I'm going to say 3-1 as well. I think we'll see Weghorst, Wijnaldum, and Frankie on the score sheet.
Okay.
And who's going to score for the Czech Republic? Let's say Souček.
Tomas.
Ooh.
Okay. And then I think we got our first proper fixture in La Cartuja Stadium in Seville. Belgium versus Portugal. I'll go last this time. Felix, who have you got winning the Clash of the Titans here?
I think Portugal win this.
Interesting.
I think Portugal are going to start to get into their groove a bit more as we get into the knockout. And this Belgium defense just looks shaky.
It does.
Because, whoever you want to start, Denier, don't really rate him. Boyata doesn't have a lot of experience internationally. And Alderweireld and Vertonghen are, 5 years past their peak?
And Romilo's about 15 years past his peak.
I don't think they'll be able to keep out this Portuguese attack.
Yeah.
So, let's go. I'm going to say 2-2 end of normal time. And then Ronaldo's record-breaking 110th goal in the 111th minute to take Portugal through.
Okay. Kian, Portugal, Belgium. Do you think Portugal have it as well?
I do. I think Portugal are going to win 1-0 with a Cristiano Ronaldo goal.
Okay.
I think Diego Jota will get the assist. I think, like you said, Belgium was strong enough to maintain the game, so not fall. Do you know what I mean? Not fall behind, but I think Ronaldo's record-breaking goal is going to come. He's got that mentality where no one's going to stop him breaking that record.
Yeah.
What I will say to that is, I don't see a less likely scenario than Diogo Jota actually passing the ball to Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah. A bit of a greedy.
No, it'll be an attempted shot.
He's not been keen on it so far, has he?
Now, a skewed shot, Ronaldo bicycle kick.
He's going to skew a shot, it's going to go, and Ronaldo's going to bicycle kick it against Real Madrid Juventus style.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I agree with you guys. In an essence, I think Portugal are going to win as well. I think Ronaldo will probably break the record. I think it will most likely be a penalty, to be honest with you. But I think that it really Portugal's winning this game relies on whether Renato Sanchez starts or not. I think that Diogo Dalot should start. I think he might, because I think Semedo picked up a bit of an injury, right? He was actually quite good tonight.
Semedo in the squad.
No, they don't. I've looked. Anyway, Semedo was honestly better tonight. I don't think it was a penalty, but I think they should give Dalot a go. But at the end of the day, Portugal are going to win this 2-0 in regulation time, a Ronaldo penalty, and then honestly, I think Bruno Fernandes is going to get his campaign up and running in this game. Okay.
I think Nunes might get some minutes.
You think Ronaldo's getting subbed off?
I don't get the epic banter, but okay.
Now he only scores pens, doesn't he?
Oh right, no.
Yeah.
Anyway, Nunes will not play. I think he's injured. Anyway, move on to Monday. Croatia versus Spain. Quite an interesting fixture, this. At the Parken Stadium in Copenhagen.
Didn't Croatia beat Spain in Euro 2016? Then again, De Gea was start. I
Was that not in the World Cup?
De Gea let a
Was
goal
that
in
not
that near post. Nah,
that was
the
Russia.
Euros.
That was Russia that knocked them out in the World Cup. Because then Croatia knocked out Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they beat them in the Nations League as well, didn't
It's
they?
weird that De Gea's lost his place in the Spain team.
Yeah.
Because I think that he's just come off his best season for United, and honestly, since that 17-18 season,
I think the whole Spain team
knows.
the Spain team as a whole was a bit weird this year. Really,
yeah.
Leaving out players like De Gea and Ramos. I don't know if De Gea is in like
De Gea's
the
in the squad. I don't know why he's not playing.
Do you think decisions like that maybe it will pay off? But I just don't understand it personally.
Mm-hmm.
I also think
their keeper hasn't looked convincing.
No.
He's not had a lot to do.
Spain are doing everything Croatia does, but better. I can't see Croatia being too much of a threat to them, to be honest. I think they're too aged. Spain has so much talent.
So what's your score prediction? You can go first, Keir.
I feel like both teams like to maintain play and not really blitz teams. So I think it's going to be a 1-0 win to Spain after extra time.
Yep.
I think it will just be who can control the game. But it could go either way. I think it could easily be a 1-0 to Croatia, but for me, I went 1-0 Spain.
Yeah. Felix?
I think Spain will win, but I will also say that this is probably the highest chance of an upset, I guess.
It's a tight game.
I mean, okay.
I'd call it an upset, but I mean, I don't necessarily think Spain are that much better than Croatia, but just because of the names it's Spain. Like, I know Croatia got to the semi-finals, but they have regressed as a team since then. I will, 2-0 to Spain. Morata brace, proving the haters wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Missing 4 more chances on the way.
Okay. I don't see it as an upset, but I think Croatia are going to win this. I think they've been growing into the tournament. I think obviously that they had their easiest group game last playing against Scotland, and they kind of obliterated them. 3-1's not the biggest scoreline, but they outclassed Scotland. I think that Croatia are going to win this 1-0. I think that it's going to be a very tight affair. I think that Spain are going to have some chances, but I think at the end of the day, an Ante-Rebic goal maybe. Has he been playing? Even regardless, he'll score off the bench, whatever. It doesn't matter. I think Croatia are going to win this 1-0. I don't see it as an upset. I don't think Spain are that good.
I do agree that I think, like I said, I think they could win it 1-0. I don't think that's really. I wouldn't see it as an upset. I think it could go either way, in my opinion.
Okay.
I do think.
Yeah,
so.
but
I
what
think
I'm saying
you're right,
is,
Ralph.
because if you look at all the fixtures, I think Belgium, Portugal, England, Germany are two where those are actual close games between two big teams. But I think this is the fixture where the underdog, so to speak, is most likely to win.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
and I think Croatia are the underdogs in this game.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. Next game, I think it's maybe, speaking of the closest underdog chance, I think the next game the underdog stands no chance. France versus Switzerland. I'm going to go first. I think that this is going to be similar to the Iceland game at the what was it? Was it the last Euros for France? I think
16 Euros.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be the game where they put some goals past the Swiss, and I'm going to say 4-0 to France. I think Mbappe's going to get off and running in this competition. I know he had his offside goal, but I think 4-0 France. I think that they're going to run Switzerland off the park. They're close neighbours.
I'm going to say 3-0. Maybe I think Griezmann will score, and then a couple from Mbappe.
Without this celebration, the cheeky. No.
Has he not moved on?
I doubt it. He'll probably still take the L.
Probably whip out a TikTok dance or something.
I'm going for 2-0. I don't think we'll see anything special. I think they'll dominate the game, but I don't think it's going to be anything more than what we expect. Do you know what I mean? From France, I think they should be winning the game. I think they will win the game, but they've not impressed me in the group stages, and I feel like they will grow into the tournament. I feel like this is the start of them starting to find their feet a bit more.
Okay. Tuesday, the 29th of June, 5 p.m, England versus Germany. World War III. And I'm telling you right now, there is no way we lose to those scumbags. I don't care. You will be witnessing Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, they're coming back to London. They're getting nothing, and then they can go.
Crying.
They can go straight home. They don't even need to go back to wherever that Germans' next game is because there won't be a next game. They're going straight home. 3-1 England. But if Jadon Sancho does not start at right wing, I have to see Bukayo Saka keeping his spot because I don't think Foden has done enough in this competition to come back after the way Saka played against the Czech Republic. I don't think it's fair. If Saka gets dropped for Phil Foden, I think it's a disgrace. I'm not going to lie to you. I can't. I will be disgusted by Gareth Southgate. Absolutely disgusted.
I think it's ridiculous we've got through the groups and neither Rashford nor Sancho have started.
Yeah, I agree with that.
A single game.
I'm not going to say that Saka deserves to start over these players.
Sterling has started consistently.
But
he scored the goal. Okay, so real quick, this is my lineup, and I know there might be some qualms with it, but let's get into this because this is definitely going to be a TikTok. Okay, so in goal, Jordan Pickford has to start, obviously. Right back, I think that Reece James needs to play because I don't think that Walker was good enough at getting those balls up the line to Bukayo Saka.
Trippier personally.
I think either of them, but I'm going to go Reece James. Centre back partnership, Stones Maguire. They've been class. Left back, Luke Shaw. Then I want to. I think honestly, I thought Jordan Henderson looked good off the bench. I'm not going to lie to you. So if I reckon I'm not going to change the system because Southgate isn't. Rice, Henderson. Okay. Then I think I'd like to see Grealish, preferably Sancho. But I think he's going to play. I think he's going to play Saka. I don't think he will whip Sancho out of the cold and start him in a knockout game.
I think Foden's going to start. I don't think he should.
I truly believe Saka's made his way into Gareth's head. If he hasn't, fine. I don't want. But this is kind of a combination of what I think will happen and what I want to happen. I think Saka or Sancho preferably, but I think if he doesn't start Foden, he'll start Saka because he was great. Left wing. I don't think you can drop Raheem Sterling because he's the only player who's put the ball in the net for England. I don't care how easy the chances were. He's the only player who's done it. And then up front, Harry Kane, because there's no way Southgate has the balls to put Calvert-Lewin in. But Kane's been trash.
He shouldn't drop Kane.
I think he should.
But no, because
I think it worked for Portugal.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter how good you are as a striker. At the end of the day, it comes down to whether you're getting service. And
he bottled his chance against Czech Republic.
Calvert-Lewin will not do any better than Kane does in this system.
Disagree.
Give either of them 10 different chances. I would back Kane to finish every single one of them more than I would back Calvert-Lewin.
I think that Southgate.
It doesn't make any sense to drop the captain, who's the talisman. That doesn't make sense. Calvert-Lewin is 10% the player Kane is. I don't think that Southgate sees Calvert-Lewin as his second striker. I think that Rashford is Southgate's second striker from what I've seen from his substitution. I don't think he'll start Rashford as striker, but from what I've seen, I'm pretty sure Rashford is. Well, I mean, I don't think Rashford's good enough to play for England anyway. So, no, I'm kidding. But I think he is Southgate's second striker. But I don't want to talk about England too much. I made my prediction 3-1 England. Ro, what do you think about the result? You're both a bit of rivalry in your household. No. I really don't, because if Southgate gets it right and we do beat Germany, there's no excuse for us not to get to the final. If you look at our side of the draw,
Netherlands is good, but I think they'll go out.
Especially if you take into account the confidence that we will get from beating Germany.
Yeah,
we'll be riding that high to the final at least.
But do we beat Germany?
Because two different Germanys could show up, right? The one that showed up today, okay, they got the result they needed, but it was not pretty. They by no means outplayed, let's be honest, a weak Hungary side. They're the Burnley of the Euros. They're just playing with they're just playing with the fans and nothing. They don't really have a lot of individual quality in that side. It's more of a team unit. So it could be that Germany, or it could be the Germany that demolished Portugal. And as much as that was maybe helped by some questionable performances in the Portugal team, they still you still have to. You can't just not just anyone can show up and batter a team that shows up and plays poorly. So
I think,
but I'm going to back England 2-1. Go on.
Talking about that point about the way that Germany beat Portugal, I don't think is applicable against England. I think our fullbacks are too good. I do not believe that you can do to Luke Shaw and any one of our right backs what Kimmich and Gersons did to Rafgier and who was on the right? It was Semedo. So I think that we countered Germany's wing play quite nicely. I think we honestly look incredibly good defensively. I could come back to rue my words, but at least this time there's goal line technology. Kim, what do you make of this game? Who's going to win it?
I just think we're far more solid at the back than what Portugal are at the minute. Like, what is it? 2 teams that haven't conceded a goal yet? It's us and Italy. Am I right? I feel like that's right.
Sure.
I've went with 2-1 to England. I think we will concede.
We do
our
have the
first
second
goal.
best centre back in the league, to be fair.
Stones is quality,
England.
to be fair.
I thought you were talking about Tyrone Mings.
Connor Cody's typing.
No, Harry Maguire is proper class. I have to say real quick, his calming presence, he's so much better than anyone else England have a centre back, and he was great against the Czech Republic. But go on, Kian.
I'd expect Southgate to play Grealish again, but like I was saying to you earlier, it's Southgate, so we're going to see Foden on the right, Sterling on the left, Kane up front.
He'll probably bring Mount back in.
Is it crazy of me to think that maybe Grealish only played because Mount couldn't play?
No, I think it's very likely.
I mean,
I think he deserved it, and he was probably, in my opinion, the best player on the pitch by some distance. He really opened a lot of things up for us. But I think if Mount was fit, he is fit, but not that way, healthy. If he wasn't self-isolating, I think regardless of if Jack Grealish scored 5 goals, I think he'd still put Mount in over him.
Is he out for the?
No, he's not. He's back on. He's back on Monday.
He's back.
I was going to say.
As much as I wouldn't start Foden on the right, if Southgate wanted to start Grealish on the left and Foden in the middle, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world in Mount's absence. Because I don't have an issue with Foden playing if he's playing in a position where he can flourish for England, but that's not on the wings for England. Because he's not the type of profile we need on the wings.
Just as a quick point, with Mount and Chilwell out because they're in close contact with Billy Gilmore, I think Petr Cech did it really well. They're giving back negative tests, right, consistently, and they're still having to self-isolate. Why is the Scotland team that are changing, staying in rooms with them, traveling with them, training with him, why is not a single one of them had to self-isolate? But
genuine question: is
it
just an England versus like the fact that it's Scotland? Because our Scotland's still governed by the rules of Public Health England. Because that's who England had to. That's who the FA had to talk to about that.
Scotland tend to follow the similar sort of way of doing things, but they're a bit slower.
They're not bound to.
Different. No, they don't have to.
I think that it doesn't make sense to me, but that's the only actual explanation I can think of. Because like I don't care if they had like nice little cozy chat. If you're staying, like you said, if they're sharing like hotel facilities and stuff, there is absolutely no chance that doesn't count as close contact. Unless Gilmore's just like a social reject team or something. I don't know,
but it doesn't make sense to me because at most Mount might have given him a hug or had a chat. Chilwell might have done the same. When you're day in day out with someone, who do you think's really going to get more risk of contact?
I mean, by that logic, where's Declan Rice getting tested? Because he was definitely then hanging around with Mason Mount. Yeah. But moving on. Last game, Tuesday, 29th of June.
Fixture.
There's actually football going on in Scotland. You wouldn't have thought it because of how shite their national team is. Hampden Park, Glasgow, Sweden, Ukraine. If I'm being completely honest with you, I think this is going to be one of the games of the round. I like both teams. the battle of the yellow and blues. And I'm going to give it to Sweden here.
Come up with that one yourself.
Haha. The battle of the yellow and blues. Sweden's going to win this 3-2 in extra time. Isaac is going to get a couple of goals. It's going to be beautiful stuff. It really is. But I like both these teams. I think it's going to be a cracker. What do you think?
I've went with a smooth sailing 2-0.
4?
Sorry, to Sweden. I think they're both of a similar standard, but like we saw with even Sweden against Spain, Sweden can quite well manage a game. Like that's a key running theme for this tournament. Like sometimes they can switch off, but I think against a team like Ukraine, it's going to be a 2-0 win.
Okay, Felix, finish us off.
Maybe a 2-1 win in extra time for Sweden after 1-1.
Okay.
In normal time. It could be really entertaining, but at the same time, I think it could just be that boring game that sees off the round that no one really cares about because we just thrashed Germany. Everyone's out, forgetting there's actual football still on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
2-1.
That's going to round up that. Thank you everyone for coming out. Thanks for listening. This should be our first. If you should have just listened to this on Spotify. If you're watching the YouTube video, cool. You got to see our sexy faces, whatever. But thank you for coming out. If you listen to this on Spotify, make sure to share with people you might know who like football. Make sure to comment on my TikTok who you want to see me doing videos with. Maybe comment. You can DM me on Instagram if you want. It's Will Rosier 19 if you want people on the podcast. Because we need more guests. Okay, very funny. Anyway, thank you for watching. This has been the Rogscast. Bye, Kian.
See you later.
Bye, Felix.
Bye.
Adios, amigos.